And you're live.
All right, Dale, what's happening?
Good to see you, man. Nice to meet you, actually, since we've never met before, Brad. But thanks for having me, man. I'm honored. Anytime Lab Coats reaches out, I'm always excited to do stuff with you guys. Obviously, pioneers and industry leaders.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, tell us about you. I know that you're an agent. You own Smart Inside Sales. This is a 10-minute lab, not a 10-hour lab. So
You got it.
shoot
In
it
a
to me
nutshell.
in a
Yep.
nutshell, yeah.
Sold real estate, figured out how to teach people how to sell a lot of real estate, running a team, and now I coach and train full time, and that's what I do. And really, my specialties are sales management and scripting and dialogue for lead conversion. That's pretty much what I do. I can't tell you how to run the best open house campaign. I can't tell you how to manage your admin to the best of your abilities, but I can certainly tell you how to run your salespeople and train your salespeople. That's what we do.
Okay, fantastic. So it's either my connection or your connection. I'm not sure. Go ahead. I just picked you up like the last 20 seconds. Can you repeat that for me?
Yeah, sure. I said that what I specialize in is lead conversion, scripting, dialogue, managing salespeople.
Okay.
We're specialists. We're not generalists, right? So we do what we know, we do what we're good at, and that really comes down to converting leads, having conversations with leads, and getting into sales situations.
Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. So that's the company. So are you still in sales or?
No, I've been running this coaching and training company full time for about 5 years now, and in fact, I haven't sold real estate as my primary income since probably 2013. So what I did between 2013 and 2016, or actually 2011 and 2016, I was the sales manager and lead gen director for a top 5 KW team.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that you guys specialize in lead conversion, lead generation, right? I mean, everyone wants to know, right? What's the best lead source? Like, where should we be getting?
There's no one perfect lead source. If you can figure out how to make 100% of your business on referrals, that's the best lead source. Unfortunately, everybody's trying to figure that out. So my first advice is get more past clients who know, like, and trust you and want to refer business to you. The second piece of advice is have as many diverse lead sources as you can get. And the more often those people see you, the more they see you as a contributor, and the more that they know, like, and trust you before they come to you, the easier the business is going to be to do with them. So what that means is, if you're the mayor of your little area and you're on social media, you're constantly giving, you're out in your community someday in the future after coronavirus, right? When you can be out in your community and you're contributing, those leads are going to be the easiest ones for you to get into business with, because they're already going to like you. Versus just driving around a neighborhood where nobody's ever seen you and don't know your name and you're door knocking. That's probably one of the hardest ways to do your business in terms of getting over the know, like, and trust hump.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, there's a ton of buyer lead sources out there, right, that are providing buyer leads. What are some of the ones that you've seen that you've worked with successfully doing seller lead gen?
Yeah, so obviously your PPC leads are going to be some of the best for buyer leads, which, Ylopo is a fantastic provider of both PPC as well as social media leads. There's a few other companies out there that can run your PPC campaigns for you, but certainly Ylopo right now is one of the dominant parties in running that for people. And then the other, the kind of outlier that I've seen is when an agent or when a team can, again, make themselves a, kind of the mayor of real estate in their area, in their specific market, then that really produces great buyer leads as well. But it's kind of, it's something that you have to plant and cultivate over time. You can't just run out and buy it.
So in being the mayor of a town, right, what does that look like? What are some things that, like, let's say that I wanted to be the mayor of my town. What are some of where should I start, and what are some things that I should consistently start doing?
Uh, I mean, the easiest thing for people to do is go and buy a list of names, addresses. There's lots of different providers out there where you can get that. Like, is it Exact Dial? I think have you heard of that one? Hold on.
No.
Exact Dial, yeah. So Exact Dial is a data provider where you can get names, addresses, in some cases, email addresses, phone numbers. So you pull that list of a target area that you want to work, and then you just create a comprehensive campaign around it that goes everything from cold calling to running Facebook ads targeted to that demographic, or even using a custom audience, down to booking events, live events, or giveaways, or coat drives, or whatever you want to do, right? If you have multiple ways of being in front of your community and letting your community know you're out there and you're contributing, the more ways that you can have consistently, create yourself a 12-month plan and just execute it. And yes, it's one of those things that's going to be a little bit of a slow return, but after the first 12 months of executing that, you're going to really be producing a good amount of business depending on the size of your market.
Yeah, I guess that was going to be the next question. What's a reasonable number for, let's say, like a single agent to tackle if that's something they want to do?
You know what? There's kind of a beginner metric that a lot of teams use, which says that the number of daily contacts equals the number of closings annually, right? So think about it this way. And when we say contacts, meaning if you're able to get an interaction on social, if you're able to get an interaction as a result of a mailing piece that you do, if you're able to get an interaction as a result of cold calling or door knocking or doing an event, we would consider that a contact. So the number of those contacts that you can make happen per day, generally after somewhere between 6 months to a year, you're going to be able to take that and roughly equate it to the number of transactions you can produce a year. How's my sound doing, Brad?
I think it's definitely me. But okay, so becoming the mayor of the town. Um, I like that plan. Do you feel like YouTube and video plays a big piece into that too, or?
Absolutely. Definitely. So I've seen some really good, and I can't name names, I suck at names, but I've seen some really good agents as well as even providers that will create a YouTube channel for you. And what you're doing is you're just creating essentially tour guides to different neighborhoods, the amenities, the features, benefits, and to the extent that you're allowed to do this in your own state, talking about home values or market values as they change, right? So you basically make yourself your own little kind of news anchor feature person on YouTube. And obviously with YouTube and with anything else, it's really just consistency, producing things that people want to see and consume and doing it over time consistently. So yeah, as part of a comprehensive plan, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I don't really, I'm in the age demographic where I don't go much beyond those, right? So
Yeah,
I can't give you advice on TikTok, and I'm not going to give you advice on Snapchat.
right.
But the big ones, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, those, I'm pretty confident that any agent out there, any team out there can create a really great local mayor persona using those major networks.
Right, right. No, I definitely agree. When it comes to, so I get this question a lot, even from like my team. What is how much, how much should you follow up with a lead? And I know that's a really broad question, but could you dive a little bit into follow up as far as, let's say you get like, let's talk about like, let's say you get a Zillow lead, Realtor.com. Not a pay per click, not someone that's like, could be light moons out, but someone that's like, let's call it Realtor or Zillow, something like that. Open house leads even.
Sure. So let's put it as real person, right? You've had a conversation with them or an interaction with them. They've given you some of their information. Presumably, when you say follow up, What we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out, one, if they're ready to move forward, two, if anything has changed with them, right? I mean, that's really, when we say follow up, those are really the two things. So when you're talking about how many times should you follow up with someone, I generally follow a rule. If I'm asking you to take an action, or I'm waiting for you to take an action, I'm going to generally do about 3 nice follow-ups with you, where I'm going to pretend like I didn't ask you the last X number of times, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then about around the 4th, sometimes maybe the 5th time, I'm going to do a come to Jesus moment where I say, hey, Brad, listen, I don't want to keep blowing up your phone, man. If you're certain that you are going to be purchasing a property, if you're certain that you do want to sell a property, please let me know. And we can figure out when it's appropriate for me to talk to you. If not, no hard feelings, just let me know. Right. So we're just going to have that moment where it's like, hey, let's get real, right? You don't want me blowing up your phone. I don't want to blow up your phone or your, however you're following up. Just let me know what's going on. Let's be honest. That's generally what I suggest. And at that point, when you get to that, if you get that far and you have to have that conversation with somebody, it's really helpful, because usually what will happen is they either say, no, I want you to keep following up. Here's the real reason why I keep kicking you down the street. Or they're going to say, yeah, you know what? Here's the real story about why I'm not going to move forward anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like on our pay-per-click, or it's one of those pay-per-click and Facebook. I think it's like our 4th text message. If they don't respond to the first 3, that's basically like, hey, I don't want to bother you. If this is bothering you, let me know. If you
Yeah.
have some kind of time frame that you want me to follow up, I will. If not, just reply stop, and you don't have to hear from me again.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't know if you have this baked into your messages, but even after that, we keep going after that. And we have ones where, like, listen, Brad, my manager will not let me stop following up with you. So please, for God's
Just
sake,
let a brother
just,
know.
just let me know, will you?
Like
And it's so funny.
give me a time frame, give me a
Anything.
or just tell me no one way or the other, and I can
Yeah, that one
we can
works
figure this
really
out.
well,
So
because you get everything. You get everything from,
so
oh, I'm
yeah,
so sorry, here's what's going on, to tell your manager where he can stick it, right?
yep,
But either way, it breaks the ice really well for
yeah,
those people.
yeah. I think that's good. All right, I think that puts us right up at the end of our time. If you got anything else you'd like to share as far for us here in Lab Pits, drop some knowledge on us.
I would say 2021 is going to be huge. There's so much pent up demand. Like, if we thought things were crazy, most markets were still doing pretty well after restrictions where they were put in place were lifted, and people could still, operate and sell real estate. If you thought that was crazy, I think 2021 is going to be nuts. So here's what I want you to do. Get in touch with take your database and take your phone of everybody that you know, dump it out and talk to everybody. Get in touch with them, because I'm telling you, the highest percentage of people in your database and in your phone are going to do business in 2021, and we don't know when it's going to be like that again. So take it, dump it out, talk to everybody, and capture that business before your competitors do. Is that good?
Yes, and I'm having the difficulties I've had are just I don't even know where y'all are at right now. Actually, I'm looking at nothing on my screen, so I don't.
Oh,
So
hopefully we're
anyway,
live. Jake, are we
so
live still?
I know you guys are still there.
Yes, we are.
I just I
Yeah, we're
just
live.
gave I just gave the secret of life out to lab code agents. So
No, you're live.
we
No,
did a
it went
great job.
through on your end. It's just not going through on mine. But so
Oh,
lab coats, and I'm going to go look it up on Facebook right after we get off. But I totally agree with you as far as that goes, because what I've seen going forward is you're talking about the pin-up demand. I heard that part, and I 100% agree with you that we're going to have some inventory come on the market this spring.
yes.
And all the people that got pissed off last year because they lost in multiple offer situations, they renewed their leases, whatever else, those people are going to have a lot more inventory to choose from this go around in 2021. Rates are still going to be super low. I totally agree with you. I think that this year is could be just a an absolute phenomenal year for a lot of real estate agents if they, like you said, if they make the phone calls and stay in touch with their people.
Yeah, just touch everybody, because you don't want to find out that your, third cousin listed their house with somebody else, or your old neighbor listed their house with somebody else, or
Yeah.
your past client from a couple of years ago listed their house with somebody else. There's going to be more business done in 2021 than we've seen done in a long time, and
Mhm.
that means your leads are going to do business with somebody, whether it's you or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. All right, tight man. Well, thanks so much for your time,
Yeah.
Brad Kiger. Your DC referral agent partner. Um, Lab Coats. Let's get rocking and rolling. Have a fantastic 2021. Cheers, y'all.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.